Hello, hello. We are live. Hey everybody, welcome back to Copper Star Precision, the channel dedicated to getting you more points at your competitive shooting matches. Gonna be going on over the January course of fire, give some people some time to roll in, say hi in the chat. Jump right into some of this. Let's see. Pull up the match results here. So I was able to take second place in this match, but you can see a huge discrepancy from what's going on between first and second place. Pretty ridiculous, really. Patrick totally crushed this match. It was cold for Phoenix. We had a storm come through, a bunch of rain. Those winds really didn't help, but we'll get into that as the match footage goes on. I put a poll out on the channel asking if you like these live formats. Some of the feedback was that it was too long last time, so I'm going to limit it to the 5 NRL stages today, and we'll try and roll through it a little more quickly. So Alaska Andy says hello. Hello, Alaska Andy. Don't take any Alaska Airlines flights anytime soon until they get that thing figured out. But we can jump right into the course of fire. So we're going to start on the 4th stage in the booklet. This is the Rooftop stage. So let me pull up the stage description here just to remind everyone, what am I doing here? I'm using the, where is it? Just using rear bag, bipod, and game changer for rear bag. And basically here, we're shooting the center target from the center position, going up to the right of the rooftop, double tapping the right target back and forth. And so when you're on the ends, you're doing a double tap. When you're in the middle, you're shooting the center target. And basically having that sky pod is really a great resource because you can put the legs at 2 different heights, and then it has a really wide ability to cant. So you can always get the rifle level. So I went with 2 points of contact. You could also do this one bag and just going off the rear of the rooftop, but this worked out well for me. 2 points of contact went really well.
Shooter ready?
Ready.
Stand by. Beep.
All right, so you got this, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Impact. Okay, now you're gonna go right. Impact. Impact.
This was the first stage of the day, so wind hadn't really picked up at this point. Holding center, just getting stable, making good hits. You can see me kind of zipping around here, making sure I'm actually on the center of the 3 targets because they're all in a line. I was pretty zoomed out on magnification, but it doesn't hurt to take the extra couple seconds. Just make sure you're on the right target. So now we're here at the bottom taking 2 shots.
Impact.
Impact.
Close middle far, then close middle far again.
Impact.
Shooter ready? Yep. Okay, stand by. 3, 2, 1,
Impact. Impact.
So able to finish the stage on a clean. Probably like 10 seconds left on that stage. Went pretty well. But the rest of the match, got a couple more good stages. But so here we have the, what is this, stage 2 in the booklet, which was the prone stage. So here again is just bipod rear bag. We had to do a mag change between the targets. This was the smallest targets of the match. And you can see my scope is really zoomed in here. One advantage of having, I have a Vortex Razor Gen 3, and that 36 magnification really does help with those small targets. I make a mistake and I don't stick to my plan, but I fix it on the second side. We'll talk about it.
Shooter, if you have a concept of what you're about to do, you may load and make ready.
Impact. Impact.
So Bill, the wind just
Far, large, small, large.
All right, so I'll just pause right here. So I'm dialing the parallax with my left hand. I should be reaching over the scope so I don't have to break my left hand from being rear support. So, but you'll see on the next string of 5, I actually do the reach over the scope. Just helps not lose your position.
ready.
That quick, right?
Impact. Impact. Impact.
Nice.
Had to wait for that target to settle down before re-engaging.
Far, large and small.
Impact.
Impact. Impact.
So here I'm reaching over the scope like I should, so I don't have to lose control of that rear bag.
Impact. Impact. Good job, Siren.
So another clean, and then we're going to head into the pyramid stage. Now here, I was going back and forth. I couldn't settle on a plan. Here I'm using the fat bag. I'm using a mega bag and using my gray ops plate with a bag attached. And my idea was kind of to go around these 2 in the third rung from the bottom and then go 4 across the bottom 2. Problem with this stage was that basically the 100-yard target is up on a berm, so you can't really see your misses. So it was tough to correct off of that, and by this time the wind started picking up. Long shot Larry says going for that full match clear. Yeah, trying to until this stage.
Impact.
So there I'm favoring right edge, which seemed to be the right call, but I still miss a bunch more shots on this stage. You know, And it's hard to see where you missed if there's no backstop behind it. You can also see me right now hunting for the target, doing a poor job of getting back on target, fast target acquisition.
Impact. Impact.
Yeah, there's definitely some wind that came up on that one.
Impact.
So here on the second from the bottom rung, I'm using the mega bag, and then I switch to the pump pillow to get a prone position, 2 points of contact on the bottom rung. It's pretty stable, but I actually run out of time on this stage. I timed out, so I wasn't moving fast enough.
Time.
Oh, you're kidding.
And then one. 6 on that one.
Impact.
Forgot to switch the stage description, sorry. This is NRL stage 5, this one. This one was also a travesty. Just couldn't get stable, wind started picking up. And then during the stage, one of my squad mates was like, oh yeah, 3 shots from the tires. And I'm like, what? No, it should be 2 shots. So kind of threw me off a little bit, but no big deal. Here I'm using bipod. I'm using the Gray Ops plate in the front of the bipod, so I can still use 2 points of contact. And I'm going to be using the game changer for rear support on that. If I can move these around, not using these. Let's see. There we go.
Stand by. Got his impact right here.
Okay.
Just start watching for it here. Shit, I can't see it.
Right here, I'm dealing with a mag jam. Don't know what happened, but had to eject around, reload the rifle. And here, I'd start inching to the right a little bit on the target, still not enough. So winds were between like 5 and 10 miles an hour, and it would gust at random times. Felt pretty stable, but just was not making the hits. The stage did not go well for me. You can see the dust behind is blowing right to left, so I should be holding more right. By the end of the stage, so there I'm off the target, holding off the target about half a mil, and these targets are only at like 70 yards or something like that, so quite a bit. Here, I can back it up here. This is where my squad mate.
3 shots from the tire stuff.
Wait, 3 shots?
That's what it said. If you want to see it.
Oh, 2 shots.
Go.
Tires are definitely the most unstable position here. Here, 2 points of contact on the barrel, super stable, holding half a mil to the right. Basically make all 3 shots here.
Impact. Impact. Got you for 5. The wind was killing you on that.
All right, so this will be the first stage. Long Shot Larry in the chat asks, if you had to redo that stage, would you still do the same positions? Probably not. Something close to it, but I'd probably maybe start on one side. I'd go like 5, 4, 3, 2. So I'd go down 4, and then I would go across for 3 more, and then loop around like I did on the bottom for the last 3. And I think not, using the middle. Using the middle is nice because you can slide between the positions. At least I could just slide the bag over, bring back the rear support. But I'd probably go down. It'd be easier to do the transitions down one side of the pyramid, and then do the bottom rungs because you can get rear support on the bottoms rungs, and I think it's much more stable. But I think the transitions in the beginning could have been way faster than what I was doing. So I'd probably change it just a touch and just picking up the pace. I wasn't really keeping track of my time management when it came to the pace of stuff. All right, so NRL stage 1 was the tank trap stage, and basically is all the crazy shapes, different targets. Now here, by this time in the match, wind was pretty consistent and gusting, so it was always right to left. So I decided, I'm gonna bring more gear than I usually would on this stage. I'm gonna dial in 0.5 of a mil right wind. So actually, I very rarely touch my windage dial during a match. But here I was like, okay, I just need to make solid positions. At a minimum, it's going to be 4 or 0.5. So I put in 0.5 into my scope. So you'll see me holding center, but that's basically like holding 0.5 mil. And the targets here are a little small, and I didn't want to worry about trying to make, wind calls out in space, because for the far target, I'm holding over, and although I have like a Christmas tree reticle that has all the delineations, I was like, just let's simplify the stage a little bit. The wind is pretty consistent. It's not switching on us, but it is blowing more or less hard. So I want to put in the minimum value I need, which is 0.5, hold center, and then see what happens there. So gear used here, I'm using the rail changer, which is basically a game changer attached to my rifle, so I don't have to worry about moving it. And I also bring Mega Bag and the pump pillow and stuff. I'm like, let's just bring all the gear and figure out what happens. So let's see, that, and don't need the game changer. So that's what I'm running with. Let's see how this goes.
Shooter ready?
Ready.
You go one lower.
Stand by. Beep.
It's perfectly stable. It's just that wind was.
Okay.
Get back. Get back. Get back. Get back.
Get back.
Nice. 8.
And
Get back.
82.
Everything 82
What's the
seconds.
ring on top of your
Sweet. This? Yeah. The magnifier.
Get back.
All right. So magnifier, so I can see the numbers.
Oh, okay.
So again here, kind of sticking to my strategy, that front tip is really awkward. So I wanted to only shoot 3 targets, the triangle position from tip 2, because it's kind of awkward being out in space. It actually ended up being pretty stable because I ended up just basically sitting on the Mega Bag, and then you can't see it, but I have the pump pillow underneath my right arm for added support in the middle of the tank trap. So that worked well, and then it was pretty stable on the last one as well, using the Mega Bag on top of my knee to get even more support in the rear. I was like, all right, maximum support, I need the points. Last 2 stages were bad. One bad stage you can shake off. 2 bad stages in a row really starts getting in your head. So I'm like, okay, let's just execute this to the best of our ability. It's more gear than I probably would normally run on this stage, but ended up working out.
Left. So I held 3, missed right. So I held 2.
Get back.
Just edge, missed. So,
Who's calling it dry fire?
and then I felt the wind just die down.
Get back.
Said 2.
So where do you get the magnifier?
M10. Yeah.
Get back.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, we got a lot of guys up there that got to have bifocal. And they can't see the number.
But I don't know, I tried it.
I used to couldn't see my number. I had cataract surgery, and they came out not wearing real glasses.
Yeah, well, we'll try and call it out as you go.
It's confusing.
Impact.
All right, you ready? Stand by. Now,
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
We should be back at 1 now. Impact.
Oh. So yeah, that wraps up the course of fire, 5 quick stages, and ended up, like I said, with second place. This includes the club stage scores. My GoPro was dying, running out of batteries, so I didn't get footage of that, but it was another mover stage, which seems to be coming up a lot lately, and then an unsupported prone stage. And I borrowed a sling, didn't have the sling set up quite for my rifle, and struggled on that one as well. But other than that, pretty straightforward stage. Just really needed to make sure that I knew what I was doing and making sure that the time management on the pyramid stage was huge. And then when the wind started picking up on the barrels stage, I really should have, you take a shot, you miss, make a correction. That's something I struggle with a lot, is where you make a miss and then you're like, okay, was that a fluke? Was that a flyer? If you know you pulled a good shot, I have to get into the habit of, okay, I thought that was a good shot. Nothing seemed to go crazily wrong. Make a correction off that information. So, and make a little bit more bold correction is something I'm trying to get used to, because it's really hard, trying to go off target, find something, and going from holding 2 tenths to 5 tenths or something like that. But making more bold corrections to get that win call, and then actually just trusting that once you get hits. So, real quick wrap through for the course of fire for January. Very challenging in the sense of like target sizes are relatively small across the board. But yeah, I mean, stuck to my plan. Some things worked, some didn't. I would probably change the way I approached the pyramid stage. Other stages went really well. Prone stage went well. The bucket stage, just dealing with the wind was a nightmare. I need to work on my wind reading skills a little bit better there. But everything else went pretty straightforward. So I'll stick around for a minute or two, try and keep this shorter from the feedback from last time, wrap this up in about 25, 30 minutes. So if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. If not, we're going to sign off here. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And if you go to a match, don't forget to come back to these videos. Let me know how you did down in the comments. Always like to hear what's going on. Some updates for if you're local to the Arizona area, there are 3 NRL22 X matches coming up. One's in January, one's in February, and one's in March. So there are 3 different X matches in Phoenix, in Mesa. And Mesa's January, Phoenix is February, and Yuma is March. So even more of a challenge. Longshot Larry says, are you running mag extensions or full 13-round mags? I have the CZ polymer 10-round mags with the Anarchy Outdoors 3-round extensions. I've seen some, Josh from Pursuit of Accuracy put out a great video comparing the different CZ magazines. There's some billet ones that are 13 or even 15 rounds. I do have the extended mag release, so I don't think it's going to work with that 15 round. So I just like the mag extensions. I like polymer mags. Billet mags are nice, but when you're spending, I think they're like $70 for a mag. I have 3 magazines, which usually works because if you usually have 1 loaded for the next stage, and then you have 2 just in case you need to do a mag change, and it works pretty well. So you need at least 2 magazines for this sport, that's for sure. Having 3 is nice. I'm thinking about picking up maybe 2 or 3 more, and I'll probably stick with the polymer 10 rounds plus extensions. They've worked for me. A couple other people on the CZ mags, they have troubles with the springs, but as long as you put them together correctly and make sure they're snapped in the right way and fully seated flush, then the springs work fine. I've never had one go down in a match. So happy with those. All right, if there's a long shot, Larry gives me the thumbs up. If there's no more lingering questions, thanks for stopping by. And until I see you next time, as always, score more points.